Hello again, everybody. Lance Smith here, and welcome to episode 252 of the Bible Difficulties and Answers podcast. We're now in the second Sunday of our series, Mere Christianity, a Conversation for the Common Hall. Last week, we stood in the hall with Lewis's preface. Today begins 33 straight weeks where we'll walk chapter by chapter through the entire book. This week, we finally step into the first room of the house. Book 1, Chapter 1, The Law of Human Nature. Lewis starts with something we've all experienced, people quarreling. And from those everyday arguments, he pulls out something profound. Let me read you the opening so you can hear Lewis in his own words. Everyone has heard people quarreling. Sometimes it sounds funny, and sometimes it sounds merely unpleasant. But however it sounds, I believe we can learn something very important from listening to the kind of things they say. He gives examples we've all heard or said, like these. How'd you like it if anyone did the same to you? That's my seat. I was there first. Leave him alone. He isn't doing you any harm. Give me a bit of your orange. I gave you a bit of mine. Come on, you promised. Okay, you know the kind, the ones that make you roll your eyes and smile at the same time. Lewis points out that when people quarrel, they're not just saying, I don't like what you did. They're appealing to some kind of standard of fair play or decent behavior that they expect the other person to already know about. And the other person almost never says, to heck with your standard. Instead, they make excuses. They try to show you they're not really breaking the rule or that there's a special reason in this case why it doesn't apply. It's as if both sides already agree that there's some invisible rule hanging in the air. Lewis calls this the law of human nature, not the laws of gravity or biology, but the law of right and wrong that seems built into every human being. He gives a great picture with this. Just as all bodies are governed by the law of gravitation, so the creature called man also had his law, with this great difference, that a body could not choose whether it obeyed the law of gravitation or not, but a man could choose either to obey the law of human nature or to disobey it. Gravity doesn't negotiate. You step off a cliff, and it's not interested in your excuses. But morality, we try to negotiate with that one every single day. Lewis knows some people will push back and say, but different cultures have different ideas of right and wrong. He says that's really not true. Yes, there are differences, but the similarities are far more striking. Every culture has recognized that selfishness is wrong, that you shouldn't break promises, that courage is better than cowardice. And then comes what Lewis calls the most remarkable thing of all. Even the person who says he doesn't believe in any real right or wrong will still act like he does. He may break his promise to you, but if you break one to him, he'll be the first one yelling, "That's not fair." Lewis says they've let the cat out of the bag. They really do know the law of nature, just like everyone else. So, Lewis lands on two clear points in the first chapter. First, human beings all over the earth have this curious idea that they ought to behave in a certain way. And second, none of us are really keeping that law very well. And the fact that we make so many excuses for ourselves proves how deeply we believe in it. Lewis says that's the human condition in a nutshell. I don't know about you, but I felt a little convicted when I read that part. I am really good at coming up with excuses for my own bad behavior. But somehow my standards stay pretty high when it's someone else who's late or rude or unfair. Here's what I want you to carry with you this week from chapter 1. Listen to the next quarrel you hear, or the next time you catch yourself making an excuse. You're overhearing evidence that there really is a law of human nature. And second, ask yourself, where did that sense of I ought to come from? Lewis is going to dig deeper into that in the coming chapters. Next Sunday, we'll look at chapter 2, some objections. Lewis will answer the people who say, maybe this law is just something we learn from our parents or our culture. It's short, but it's very important. Until then, here's my simple invitation. Come as you are. Stand in the hall with us. Pay attention to those little everyday moments when you feel that tug of, I ought to, or that's not fair. And keep asking the honest questions. Thank you for being here on this second Sunday of the series. I am really enjoying walking through this book with you. You can email me at BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers@gmail.com. Join the conversation on Facebook. And if you'd like to support the podcast, head over to buymeacoffee.com/Lance Smith. All episodes are archived at BibleDifficultiesAndAnswers.podbean.com. I'm Lance Smith, wishing you good health, good study, and God's richest blessings. So long, everybody.